Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. My name is Fungusaurus Rex, and in the previous episode we completed the brains of our magnificent redstone curing chamber. Now, even though it is a marvel of modern science, it is rather ugly, which means we need to hide it. And my first thought was to construct a building around it, but afterwards I thought it might be a bit nicer if we hid it under a hill. So I've got a bunch of dirt and we're gonna use it to hide the magnificence of the redstone machine. So the front part is looking quite nice at the moment, so let's start around the back. And what we're doing is we're simply going up one layer at a time, taking it in one step, and then repeating the process until eventually we get to the top. So let's just lay down a few blocks here. I'm trying to keep it as natural as possible, at least natural for Minecraft. So let's just build this out a little bit more here and bring that in another block. And we're going to repeat this process over and over until this entire machine is covered. And with the front and back looking rather nice, I'm just going to take a little bit off the top of this hill, because I want to connect it up to the entrance of our curing chamber. So I'm just going to go over here and bring this out so that it meets this other section right there. And then we're just going to cover this up a little bit, and that will form the entrance to the chamber. And we're taking a little break from building a hill to doing the exact opposite, because I want to make a lake over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig this out a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more depth. After all, you can't have a lake that is only one block deep. So we're just going to clear all of this out. And then I think over here at this tree, I'm going to build a little secondary island around it. So we're going to start off with just a bunch of blocks around it and then dig out this section just a little bit more so we can get some water flowing around it. And with that done, it's time to start placing down the water. So we're going to start off with 2 buckets and create an unlimited water source. And with that done, it's much easier to create the first layer of water. Now, when you're building a lake or a river, you want to fill up the lower layers first, which will make the top layers settle much nicer. And our top layer is almost done, just a few more source blocks to go around here. And there we go. Our lake is almost halfway done. We'll get to the rest of the lake at the bottom over there soon, but it's time for the next step. And that is to build a waterfall, because all of this water needs to come from somewhere. And I'm going to try and build a little thing just to guide the water down where I want it, because water in Minecraft is really unpredictable, and it's tough to determine where it needs to go. So you end up with things that look absolutely nothing like what you had in mind. So I'm just going to build sort of a little trail here for the water. And of course, one thing to remember is that water and redstone simply does not mix, as I found out when I washed away half of this section of my contraption. But I think we've fixed it all up now, so we can get back out there and continue building our waterfall. So we finally got our water going roughly where we want it, so we can continue building the top of our hill. And this part is complete, however, the back still needs some work. Now, I haven't gone all in and created a hill that goes all the way down to the bottom. Instead, I've just built a dirt wall around the back, and we can always look into making that look nicer a little bit later. But for now, we're just going to complete the top of this. And just a few final blocks of dirt, and the top of our hill is complete. So now I just want to do a little bit more work around the entrance over here. Just bring it out, try and make it look a little bit more natural. And then I want to build a lake up at the top here as well, because this water cannot just spring forth from the ground. It needs to come from somewhere. And I think having a little lake up here will just make it look a little bit nicer. And finally, our pond at the top here is complete, so we can let the water in. So I'm just going to grab some water over here and start filling up the edges. Because we don't want water running on all sorts of random directions. We want it nice and still up here. So 1 or 2 more buckets and that should be done. And there we go. Our pond at the top is complete. Our waterfall is looking very nice indeed. And our lake at the bottom is looking splendid. So the next thing I want to do is build a waterfall at the back here. Now this is going to be a large waterfall, so I need to raise the base of it just a little bit. So we're going to start off with some cobblestone and then just create a rough shape around the bottom that will form the base of our waterfall. So just a few more blocks here. And seeing as it has become night, I decided this is a good time to try and get a zombie into our curing chamber. Because a zombie curing chamber is absolutely nothing without the zombie doing the job. Now we've got 2 very qualified candidates over here, so let's see if any of them want to take the position. And they seem to be a little bit smarter than I give them credit for. So let's see if we can trick one of them into falling in here. And nope, he has a lot more brains than he wants to eat. So I think I'm just going to cull one of these guys and then see what we can do with the other. And that was not part of the plan, but the zombie is in, and let's see if we can get him in place. Alright, he's stuck on the rail, so perhaps if we're careful, we can just nudge him into place because he needs to go into that little block, and he got loose. Alright, never mind. Let's see if we can get him to climb on top here, and perhaps we can knock him into the hole. And I've given up on this zombie. I'll try again with another one. And alright, we've got 3 and it looks like one of them landed in the right spot. So let's cover this up and go see what's happening downstairs. And unfortunately, only one of my zombies survived, but he landed all the way down here. So I'm building him a staircase to see if we can get him up into the correct position. So let me just see. Okay, he's on his way up, but oh my goodness. Oh, okay, my health. Okay, let's get out of here. No, go. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Alright, just give him the run around and up the ladder. I cannot die like this. And we are semi-safe. So I think maybe it's time to take a little break. Just get out of here. Get my health back up. And we'll try the zombie another time. And unfortunately, my zombie has not survived the night. I think I moved away a little bit too far and he despawned. So I'm just going to get rid of all of this dirt that I placed down here trying to get him into position. And then we'll get back to building our beautiful pond. So let's just get rid of that. Get rid of this. And then let's get back to the pond. And we're back at the waterfall. I'm going to put on a second layer of dirt over here. So let's just get this into place. And then on top of that, I'm going to add some mossy cobblestone. I'm going to use some moss. And we're going to get this looking real old and slimy. So if I can stop falling into the water, let's get back on top and let's get this cobblestone in place. Alright, we've got a lot of cobblestone in place and I think it's starting to look really, really good. So I just need to go back to the top and add the few final blocks of mossy cobblestone to the top layer. And then after that, we can start adding the water. So first things first, let's just get 1 or 2 blocks of cobblestone in there. I had 2, so 2 went in. And it's time for the water. So We never know what it's going to look like until we've got the water in. I'm hoping this is going to look alright. And indeed, it is not looking bad at all. However, I think I still need to add some moss blocks in here, just to make it look real damp and slimy. So let's just get up there, add in some moss blocks, and I think this waterfall is going to look absolutely fantastic. And indeed, it does. So with the waterfall completed, I want to build a bridge which will allow the students to go from the training academy to the island, where they can go and sit, read a book, and maybe just ponder on the day's lessons. So I'm not sure what I want to build yet, but I do want to build it one block above the water and not in the water. And this is the first iteration I've come up with. However, there's a massive gap between the fence post and the chain, so I'm just going to put some signs on it to see if that fixes the problem. So that's 3 on that side. Let's get 3 signs in on this side as well. Last sign in, and hopefully that will make it look a bit better. And it has not, as there's a massive gap between the signs and the fence post. And we finally have a design that I'm happy with. And with that done, I can start building my tree. I want to build a big willow right here on the middle of the island where the students can come and sit in the shade. And finally, our lake is complete, with a big willow where the students can come and sit and enjoy perhaps a packed lunch or just relax after a hard day studying. And I think this tree is looking phenomenal. So with that done, it's probably time to get back to the redstone chamber and finish up there, because we still have quite a bit of work to do. And first things first, we still need a zombie. So we're trying this again, and I'm taking a different approach where I'm just going to see if I can't nudge these suckers into the hole. And that was not what I had in mind. Oh, but the zombie is in. The zombie is in the hole. Alright, okay, the zombie is out of the hole. Let's see if we can perhaps lure him back in. And no, he has fallen down once more. Let's get rid of him and try again. And we've got another candidate stepping up to fill the position. However, it looks like he is quite clever. I have no idea when the mobs became this smart, but it is quite annoying when you're trying to shove them down a hole. And I just heard a zombie fall, and I see only one up there, so hopefully we've got one in position. And yes, there's a zombie in that hole. So let's just get rid of these ugly blocks over here, and then we'll go and sort out our zombie below. And the first thing he needs is a name, and we're gonna name him Fun Bobby. Say hi to Fun Bobby, everybody. And next thing, of course, is we need to clean up the collateral damage. So I will be going downstairs and taking care of the little mishaps that might have happened, although we shall never confirm nor deny. Anyway, sorry about this, bro. And with Fun Bobby in place, I can finally show you exactly how this works. First, we hit that button up there that will call a student, and we will introduce him to Fun Bobby, who's going to teach him a very valuable lesson indeed. And with his lesson learned, we hit that button, which will send him to his station. Now, let's just get a few potions in here. There we go. And because we have Station 2 selected on the selector, he has gone to Station 2. So next thing we do is we hit this button up here, which dispenses a potion on them, and I can simply run in and feed them some apples. There's one for you and one for you, and now there's nothing else to do but wait. And finally, they have been cured, so we hit Station 1's button. You can see Station 1, the light is lit up. And then he comes back for another visit with Fun Bobby, who teaches him another valuable lesson. And he's learned his lesson, so we send him back to Station number 1. Then we select Station number 2, and as you can see, Station number 2's redstone lamp is now lit up. So then we simply hit the button at the top, and he goes for a visit with Fun Bobby. And once Fun Bobby has done his job, we will simply hit that button down below once again, and because Station 2 is still selected, our candidate will go back to Station number 2. And we can simply hit this button up top again, and it gets splashed, and we feed them some apples. But it is day 343, and that, ladies and gents, is unfortunately all we have time for today. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like if you did, and hey, if you want to see some more, consider hitting that subscribe button. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye bye.